Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, today the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we're talking about Earthborne Rangers. Now this is a game that intrigued me from the get-go. The main thing that really intrigued me is their commitment to sustainable production. So everything in there is cardboard or wood, and I believe they selected their factory specifically based on how they source their materials. I don't know that, but I think that's what they've done. There's no plastic wrap on anything, and just very much that is kind of the key of what they believe in as a company. And because of that, that actually has informed the theme of the game, where the game theme is far in the future, and people are kind of coming back out from these underground layers that they've lived in for millennia, and the world, future technology, they left things out there, the machines, to kind of clean up the planet, so when people re-emerge 1,000 years later, it would be sustainable and beautiful again. Kind of like WALL-E, if like WALL-E succeeded and people came back and were happy and not, huge, overweight, and selfish and lazy. And along with that, it is a game along the lines of some other games that I really love. It is an adventure card game, and I really like those games. I love the Pathfinder adventure card game. I played a lot of it. I love those games where you have your characters and you're getting equipment, you're putting it out there, and you're battling bad guys. Sentinels of the Multiverse is one of my favorite games. Aventuria I love. It's another game in that realm. So I was curious about it. I didn't back it, and I don't know why I didn't back it, but they were kind enough to send me a copy of it, and I was just thrilled to give it a try, especially after both Mark Nanty and Michael Kelly said they thought it was fantastic. So I was very excited to try it. So what you're going to be doing in this game is you're going to be playing through the campaign book, different adventures, and you're going to be traveling around the world doing stuff. And that's important because there is no direct end game. It's not the world's being destroyed, you have to save it. No, it's go out and just live. Do your stuff. Travel around. Get into trouble. Help people. And very, very sandbox. And you have your map and you're moving around and you're doing all that. But what's interesting is as you move from place to place, each location is going to have a set of cards that go with the location. And depending on where you've traveled on the map, literally what you have passed, that's going to determine what other kind of cards get mixed in. So if you go to one location that has the treehouse cards and you travel by the river, you're going to mix in the river cards with it. But if you come down the other way and you go up through the swamp, you're going to add swamp cards in. Very, very clever. And then that's going to be your location. You're going to have quests that you're going to be picking up throughout the game as you talk to people, and those will kind of give you ideas of where you might want to go to try to accomplish things. And you'll have those out, and then you have your characters. And the characters have their own deck of cards, and in that deck of cards will be equipment that you can put out. There's going to be things that you can do to kind of interact with various creatures that are out there, move creatures around, share things, interact with the characters that you meet. All of those things will be in your deck. But at the same time, you're going to have the ability to do these challenges. And each character will have started the game with a set amount of affinities set up. For example, fitness is one of them. And you'll be doing these checks to try to accomplish your missions. You'll be doing these checks to try to get past obstacles that are in your way, to maneuver around animals that are out there, and all of those kinds of things. And that's going to happen. You're going to pick how much are you willing to spend of your affinity. So if I have 3 fitness, I can spend 1, 2, or 3 of those fitness. And then you're going to flip a card over from this one deck, and that's going to tell you a plus or a minus that you might have to that, and then you'll see if you have accomplished the goal or not. But at the same time, at the bottom of each one of those cards, there'll be a symbol which might activate all the cards on the board. There's a lot of push your luck as you're going through that and flipping these cards and doing these tests. That's actually pretty much all you're doing. You're moving around, you're interacting with these things, you're trying to accomplish objectives, and you're moving on somewhere else and you're dealing with that. And if things go badly, well, then the day will end and you'll have to go rest and you move on. You're going to play through about, I think it's 30 days, and you'll see what you have done. How many quests have you accomplished? What have you done? What have you not done? And each of these quests has lots of story that you get to read, and you go to the storybook and there's a lot of story. It's a very interesting story. It's very clever. It's very well written. All of those things there. So what do I like about this game? First off, as I mentioned, I like this genre of game. I like this. You play your cards out, you get to equip what you want, and you even have some deck building you can do in this one as you get more items that you find. You can just shuffle them in and out of your deck. I really do enjoy that. I love the way it works. I also like it has this kind of panoramic landscape as you're playing through. What I mean by that is you have things that are in reach, that's literally right there in front of you. Then there's stuff that's along the way, which is out there. You can see it's out there, and then you kind of have your goal. And to get to the goal, you got to go past the stuff that's in reach, you got to go past the stuff that's along the way, and you just kind of have to figure out the best way to keep yourself out of trouble to accomplish the goals that you want. And also along the way, you get to decide, oh, I want to deal with this creature in a nice way, or I want to inflict harm upon it. I'm not going to kill it, but I'm going to inflict harm in the way that's going to make it kind of run away. And there's different ways you can do that. And I really like that option. I like that you had that kind of conservation thing kind of dug into the bones and the meat of the game itself. So all of that I really do enjoy. So what are my quibbles with the game? Well, my main quibble with the game is I had a heck of a time getting the terminology down and kind of understanding what things are. And I don't know why that is, because all of the mechanics are fairly similar with the exception of the way you do the test in the card and you're spending your affinity tokens. All of the mechanics are very similar to other games in the genre, right? You have your equipment, you use your equipment to deal with the thing. But for whatever reason, I had a heck of a time learning the terminology and what the gameplay flow is, and I had a very hard time with that. And I spoke to a couple other reviewers, and they had the same thing too. It took them a couple of games before they're like, now I understand. So I say this not because it's a bad game or anything like that. It might take you a little while to learn the game. You might have to play through a couple of quests before you're like, okay, now I got it. Now I've settled in. Now I can move on and really dig into this properly. And the only other quibble that I have is it's not a world-saving adventure you're going on. It's not some fight the dragon or anything. It's just go live in the world. Go explore the world. And yes, there'll be some danger and you're going to help people and you're going to do things, but there is no overarching narrative that you are following. There's a lot of narratives and a lot of the quests are chained. You do this and you accomplish this and you meet somebody new and this person's going to tell you to do this. There's a lot of that in there. But there is no one overarching narrative really that you are following up on, or at least in as far as I've played through the game, there isn't one. Maybe something shows up further down and I just haven't found it, but I don't think so. This is marketed as a sandbox game, and it truly is a sandbox game. It's be a hero and go out and just live your life. This is the everyday Peter Parker going around and fighting small crime and helping grandma across the street and getting cats out of trees. That's what this is. This is not where Peter Parker joins the Avengers and goes and fights Thanos. So you just kind of need to understand that that's what's going on. But really, that's it. I think this is an exceedingly well-crafted game across the board. It's beautiful, the story is interesting, the mechanics are interesting, it's got enough that's different about it to where it's a worthy entry into the genre. It's not any kind of a re-theme or reskin of a game that's already out there. So I think the question you have to ask yourself is, what am I looking for in this adventure card game? Am I looking for fantasy fighting adventure? Well, then maybe you want to go to like an Aventura or something. Am I looking for superheroes, battle, and adventure? Then, well, you want to go to Sentinels of the Multiverse. But if this campaign-driven, explore this new world is of interest, then this is the one that you want. I think it is a lovely, lovely game. And I really can't say too much bad about it. The only thing that might hit you the wrong way is simply, is this the type of theme and experience you're looking for? If it is, then you're probably really going to like it. If you're not, then look somewhere else. But there you have it, folks. That is Earthborne Rangers. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.